we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second hour. Yeah, it's about an hour. Last one must have taken about an hour. Oh,
It took about an hour and a half, actually,
Yeah,
an hour
yeah.
40 minutes.
About an hour of play. And then an hour of read. But yeah, it's fine. Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to the second hour of my... Look, don't question it, okay? It's fine. It's fine. The second episode. It's and so yeah, we've just seen we just came fresh from Starlight being tossed across time and space, and now I think we shall rejoin with our other lost character from last session, Sparrow. Sparrow, you're a raven, confusingly. Now you have been over the last couple of days in the following position. You were brought to the Vigil headquarters by Vigil, and were kind of like purged on his person. I've been brought with him throughout the proceedings of, respectively, being. You were there when he was made a full member of the Order.
Yay!
Now, all of this is something you could understand. You can perceive the world. You just can't do non-bird things.
Have I retained my intelligence?
Yes.
Have I know I haven't retained my shapeshifting. Have I retained super strength and speed?
I seem to recall that you did some stuff while in the shape of a bird. So yeah, you would probably retain your powers, but they are like kinda... They're in the weird space where, because you're really uncomfortable with your... Let me actually ask you something. Do you have... What's that condition? There's a condition whose name escapes me.
I have angry and guilty?
You have angry and you have guilty. Okay. Yeah. I think...
I think you were thinking maybe of insecure.
I was thinking of afraid. I think you should mark afraid.
Sure.
Just like for your condition. But beyond that,
Be very, very afraid.
You can still like feel your powers, and you still feel like it's not like you feel detached from them. It's that it's kind of like wielding them with gloves on, if that makes sense, right? You're like, oh, but this feels different. You're trying to hold something with like a pair of slick gloves where you usually would just hold them in your hands.
So it's not that I don't have them; it's that they're difficult to use.
Yes, right. It feels weird.
With the exception of shapeshifting, which you couldn't do.
Yeah, you feel even your shapeshifting. You have the sense of like the feeling you would get from doing it. You can still call upon, but your form doesn't change.
It's like I have shapeshifting, but I can only shapeshift into a raven.
Yes, it feels kind of that way. So you were taken into Vigil headquarters. You were there when Vigil was alone in the room with his elder, alone in air quotes.
I'm just a familiar. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just, gonna sit here and observe.
Exactly. He was raised to a full member of the Vigil, and then told he had to track down his mom, who had betrayed the Order, and find out why. So that they can properly arrest her or like detain her and find out what's up.
Basically, he was read the riot act.
Then he
do as we say, because you no longer have free will to act on your own.
Yes, that's the official tagline. Now their version of it is you're a full member now, so now here's all the responsibilities. Now is the time we
can't hear you, Rasmus.
For some reason, my push to talk didn't work while I was in the task manager.
Oh well. Hello. Did you want to say something?
I just say I imagine it must have been really difficult for the raven not to let its opinion known through squawks or whatever.
You probably did, right? Like in as we retroactively observed the scene, there's probably like a squawking raven in there, like making noises and like acting out, and it's just like been ignored as like a thing.
Oh well, I think also afterwards the raven might have brushed against Vigil in a comforting manner or whatever.
Totally.
flown over and pooped on
And-
the others.
Yeah, I was exactly pooped in Elder Kimball's coffee or something.
Of course.
Then
Too
you
bad
were,
it's not abused there, because they can really shoot their poop long.
mhm. Then you were taken into the Vigil archives, where Vigil did some research to find out how to best transform you back to your normal shape. I learned of a couple of methods. If I recall correctly, those methods were get the spell broken by the person who cast it, or a witch of the coven that cast. Like have a greater power undo it, right? Like one of the magnificent, stonking, scary powers of the universe. Have another talented person undo it. Like someone who's like a particularly talented worker of magic. Like the Magus is an example we brought up. It's like a kind of world famous generational sorcerer supreme figure.
I'm going to pop in and out of Discord real quick.
All right. You will await his return.
Dude.
Welcome back.
Say something. Ah, yes, that helped the sound immensely. Go on.
All right, cool. And then after learning of these methods of approach, Vigil went to see Soren in his cell. Had a conversation with him, among other things, asking if he knew such a greater power that could perhaps undo the thing that has happened to you.
Was I present?
Yes. And it turns out that Soren does. He called it Titanius, and Vigil seemed to immediately wave it off as being no way, right? That could never happen. Though I'm not sure you have the contextual information to realize why that is. I don't think you know who Titanius is.
I might have nibbled on Vigil's ear trying to ask him later, but I imagine, who is Titanius is a difficult question to get across when you're a Raven.
Yes.
I imagine just if Vigil would be poked by constantly by Ravens, he would just probably on his way just rumble about it, conveying some information.
Just grumbling.
Yay, and you angry
Yeah.
rambles.
Yeah. It's like one-way conversation to the Raven.
So do you think that you pick up on what it is that that White Sparrow actually wants to ask you, or are you just telling her stuff that doesn't matter to her at all? Are you just shooting her ear off about nothing?
Yeah, it's basically about nothing, but it's this kind of rumble that is you piece together as a it's kind of like a semi-rambling lore exposition, one of those one-way dialogues that is actually showing some pieces of lore.
Right, it's like a half-finished verbal jigsaw.
Yeah. You can if you are a reader, you can easily piece it together as okay.
I think the Raven quickly figures out only to respond to the things it finds interesting.
All right, that's a method.
Like a go on or yeah, of course,
I should say that everybody is getting badly robotic. I have tried leaving the conversation. I have tried popping back in. And I am, in fact, not running anything else on my computer at this time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So-
The good
My
news.
sound is perfect to me.
Yeah, the good news is that the audio is pretty clear here, so hopefully it will sort itself out.
I can't understand a word you're saying. I'm going to try again.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
It's pretty clear to me. It has a
No, it's not
slight
helping.
bubbly, but
It's
All
not
right.
helping.
Well, let's hope it sorts itself out. So
well, Joan just said it's not helping on her end.
yeah, well, let's hope it fixes itself with time. So you were so this is something that you've been exposed to, right? This is what has happened to you.
Yes.
And if I recall correctly, stop me if I'm wrong here, You all like met up, right? You all joined forces to talk about what was next, and I think you came to the conclusion, like Finn met up with the others, and then dropped the bombshell on them that Monica was probably a witch. And now
He didn't use the word probably. He was like, yeah, she witch.
yeah, that's how it was. To at least Nightshade's surprise.
Yeah, I imagine the Raven was remarkably unsurprised, having followed her to the witches.
Yeah, you definitely had like a front row look at that revelation.
Didn't Sparrow also hear her talk with Morrigan?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. So.
Well, she was an owl.
Yeah, she did.
That part I remember. Woohoo!
Nice. So, and I think the conclusion you reached, a lot of you, was that you were gonna try to break this curse by seeing if you could get Monica to break it.
She is of the coven?
Yes.
So, the scene right now is the lot of you, Diamond, Vigil, Thalmid, Derp, Nightshade, and now also White Sparrow in your mall lair. What do you do?
Sorry, I just came back and I think it's better, but I've missed the last 5 minutes or so. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm sorry about your connection.
And there it goes again.
So,
Okay.
a darn shame.
I'm gonna have to restart my computer and hope that fixes it. It does say my voice is connected. It does say I have full bars. I should be able to hear people, but everybody is robotic. So I will be back shortly.
All right. So I think what I can do on my end is I can try to rehost the server on rehost this Discord on a different server.
Yeah, there was some talk about that. I imagine possibly moving it closer to Denmark.
I think I'm as close as I can get, but I'll have a quick look in the meantime.
Is that something you can do now?
Maybe. I have.
It sounds like a time-consuming thing, at least.
It does. Let's not try it just in case it like majorly fucks something up. I'll save that for when I know what I'm doing. While we await Diamond's return, you feel free to to get in this scene. We have Vigil, we have Nightshade, and we have a bird.
Have I been fed something?
That is not for me to answer.
I think you should just start cawing. We have to figure out what you want.
Have to stay in character all night. Say something out of character, you must do so in your in-character voice.
In that case, the Raven has been cawing relentlessly for a while now, and if anyone approaches, it will fly somewhere with the come hither kind of look to it.
All right.
Anyone want to follow the Raven?
Yeah, I'll start following you.
In that case, the Raven flies out to an abandoned bakery and starts, picking the glass like tap tap and looking at you, tap tap, looking at you.
You want food?
Ah!
All right. Well, let's go back to the mall. I'm sure they have something in. Diamond's bound to have some hot dog buns or something.
I think that was something about hot dog buns, but it hasn't gotten any better from me restarting my computer.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to I mentioned to the others I could try and rehost the server, but I don't think that's a thing I should just like do hip shooty. Like, in
No,
hip shooty
probably not. Probably not. That I
What
did
about
pick up
Skype?
on. Skype has awful, awful sound quality, so we shouldn't use that. If anything, I should just, if it gets fasciorse than this, I'll just have to drop out for tonight.
All right. I will also drop out and end of this call for just a second, just in case that means anything.
We'll just drop out and then re-enter. Just...
There we go.
Yeah.
Try a different room or something.
Well, hi.
Hello.
Wow, that was loud and clear. Excellent.
Right.
Maybe Discord were like, I don't like game room run.
Apparently not, because suddenly it's perfect sound.
Let's go.
Excellent.
Maybe it's because we all sort of disconnected and connected in a new room.
That's possible.
Fingers crossed, it's the solution.
Yeah, let's
Um,
hope.
Sound
Alright.
has actually also gotten better for me. It wasn't bad necessarily before, but it's definitely improved.
All right.
Well, here we
Sound
are.
is the same as always for me. It's been really good all night.
That's
Nice.
excellent. Anyway,
So
sorry about holding everyone and everything up, dear listener. This is a service announcement. My internet occasionally sucks, which is weird since I share it with Rasmus and he didn't have any problems.
Well, mine was slightly tainted. It would be nice if they could, at some point upgrade the cables.
Yeah, I doubt that's ever going to happen.
So let's return to the issue of Nightshade communicating with a bird.
Because
Yes.
burn is the word.
I did hear something about hot dog buns, so I assume that is something that in some way, shape, or form includes Diamond.
Yeah, so I come back with Sparrow on my shoulder.
I
I'm
think he's
guessing.
nibbling at your hair from time to time.
Yeah,
Spraven.
Spraven.
Raven?
I turned to Diamond like, you don't happen to have any like extra hot dog buns or anything laying around? I think Sparrow's hungry.
Oh, yeah, of course I do. She gets up and walks across the room and you all see something weird. She clearly tries to reach out for a packet of hot dog buns, but she's using her normal arm to do so, and it isn't
Not
Yeah.
there.
it's her offhand that has been blown off. That's the one she would normally grab something with, like that.
Just kind of
And-
lean into the closet. Like, well,
So her offhand is gone, which means that exactly. She has to hold on to the closet, lean in, and get something. And it's like, one moment, it's in here, and she scrambles around for a while until, because of her, well, let's face it, she's a lot heavier than she looks, being made mostly of metal. She leans on the cupboard which is hanging on the wall. It's been screwed up on the wall, and she leans on it, and suddenly she's on the floor with several tins of Spam and baked beans and hot dog buns and mustard on her face, and underneath a heavy metal cupboard.
I like to.
And the only thing you hear from down there is bugger.
I like to imagine like that my mind goes to all the tiny questions of having been Diamond before realizing your condition, and like if you ever like thought of your physical appearance and being like, I wonder what I weigh, and you got on a weight, like on a bath weight, and you were like, what the fuck even, like, is your brain programmed to be like, to just like read that number as something normal? Be like,
No, actually, I think it's hard-coded into her that she doesn't do that in order to be, to keep the illusion.
Right, that makes even more sense. So is now that you are becoming aware of this, like you know what you are, you're becoming self-aware as a programmed person entity. Is this something that you have now, like, that is now a thing that has, like, reared its head in your mind at any point, been like, I wonder if why I never thought about this before. Is that like a thought that has occurred to you now?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
I mean, the hard coding doesn't actually go away just because she's suddenly aware that she's a robot, but it's, she just doesn't seem to mind too much.
Feel free to have fun with that idea as much as you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. Eventually, I'm sure. But I mean, I kind of plan on this one arm thing until it gets fixed. Daniel, cough, cough.
Don't look at me. I'm not the one who's gonna fix it.
Well, you did say that they were looking for the one man who could fix it.
I mean, let's be honest. How are the adults' track records so far?
Oh, bollocks.
I just repeat what I said before. Bugger.
Oh, that'll be fun for Starlight to come back to.
Yeah, we need to find
I think she'll be finding the nearest bat and then go to town on the Raven.
We need to find Riley Newman. But anyway, yeah. She does...
Where's Sparrow? And why are you here? Get off!
She does claw her way out from underneath there and brings some hot dog bread and wipes mustard off her face with the back of her hand or something. Because, ouch.
Well, the raven flies over and lands on her shoulder, nuzzling its head against hers. Clearly, the person with the hot dog buns is the raven's favorite person.
Well, she uses her teeth to rip open the bun of hot dog buns, or the pack of hot dog buns. So, yeah, holds up a hot dog bun for the raven.
So there's basically a panel of you feeding the bird, and maybe all of you, I don't know, a passivity panel, right, of people tying their shoes or scratching their ass or whatever.
I think actually at this point, after the bird has started nibbling on the hot dog bun, I think Diamond looks at Sparrow and corks a crooked grin and says, "Well, at last we share a taste in diet."
Raven looks up at her, with that sideways look, and just caws, and then goes back to eating.
Nom 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 nom.
This is the slow close up, right? Like in the filmed version of this, turning its head in that bird fashion, and then
Exactly.
Also, at one point, just to tease her, I think Diamond, once she's eaten half or a whole bun, I think Diamond will just, tease her by looking at her again and going, "You know what? You're prettier as a raven."
The raven flies up and starts picking your skull.
It doesn't actually hurt the robot. You do realize that.
No, but
It
imagine
doesn't
the
matter.
sound. The sound inside her head.
Talk,
Dong,
talk, talk,
dong,
talk, talk, talk.
dong.
well played, AJ. Speaking of, by the way, so I think we have this the panel of you doing this, and then there is because convenience and stuff is a thing in comic books. There is we see the downstairs of the mall, on the plaza floor. We see a tear in time space formed as a circular white expulsion of energy, and we see Starlight fall through. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't do anything. It's just this spillage of energy that suddenly vomits forth Starlight from the ether, and you fall onto the floor of the mall in your own time.
We hereby conclude that we have now answered the age-old question: if a starlight falls in the mall, does it make a sound? No, it doesn't.
Yay.
It's right up there with what's the sound of one hand clapping.
Exactly. So as you dust yourself off and become aware of your surroundings and realize what's up and what's down. You realize where you are, Starlight, and as you're maybe looking around, thinking, should I go? Where should I go? Should I take should I get a phone and call someone? You hear just vaguely in the big empty building, the faint echo of conversation that you associate with your friends being up in the arcade.
Talk, 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 talk.
Well, she'll be running upstairs, pondering why the hell they've caught a bird. or if it's just Lightwing going crazy.
So Starlight runs into the scene, right? We have the white panel of you, like of all you people, like being on the outside, like in the on the outskirts of the panel, and then middle ground, taking up the center shot is Starlight, like sliding in from the side, be like, I'm here.
To the side of a disarmed Diamond currently being assaulted by a raven.
Yes.
Yes, I think the raven looks up with a bit of Diamond's hair in its mouth and cocks its head.
Starlight?
Where have you been?
She looks a little bit worse for wear.
With her hand extended toward the raven, followed by a bright light attacking the raven.
The raven would like to dive behind Diamond.
Alright, so you dive.
Oh, now I'm useful, am I? Now
dive
I'm
behind-
okay.
You dive behind Diamond as like a beam of like energy shoots like over Diamond's shoulder and impacts the wall behind, like causing an explosion of like drywall and like I don't know, whatever like illegal building materials was in the place.
I'm like,
Asbestos.
whoa,
Yes,
whoa.
like drywall and asbestos,
Yeah,
like
asbestos.
shoot out
I'm
everywhere.
like, Starlight, whoa, that's Sparrow. Don't kill her.
The sight of determination turns to fear. Already?
What? No, she was
already
just
too late
transformed
then.
into a bird.
To a raven.
Yeah, no, she's fine. We're just trying to figure out how to get her back. Because apparently she can't shapeshift back to her normal self.
Yeah,
And that's fine?
she
How
got
is that
hit.
fine?
She got hit by a witch. So did I, for that matter. She says, and waves her shoulder
nub.
because there isn't even a stump.
For a moment I thought that was the raven's doing.
Just like a loose hanging tank top. Just look at this.
At the thing that that Starlight says is like, who's doing?
What?
You said something about the ravens doing. What do you mean by that?
Well, wherever I went was not nice.
Exactly where did you go? You kind of disappeared by
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
25.
Okay, I was gonna ask like if that was deliberate deflection. Cool.
You
said-
said what again?
Oh, 2025.
the future?
Do I finally get flying cars?
No.
Okay.
You said it was rough. What exactly did you see?
Let's just say we have to get rid of Raven now.
What? Hey, I'm not getting rid of White Sparrow just because she's a raven. Except, of course, if she starts pecking me again.
Oh, the raven nuzzles you gently.
Okay.
By this time, Finn's eyes are squinting. Like,
Come on,
Also-
Sparrow Raven. We need to turn you back to a sparrow.
Yeah, we need to get me a new arm.
I'm not
I'm
entirely
s-
sure how we get you a new arm.
We find Riley Newman. He can build me one. The
Also,
guy we found down in the basement of the
Oh.
nasty place. He can.
Starlight, did you know Monica's a witch?
It's like an information
Just because you
overload
don't
crossing
like-
the room right now.
And Starlight is just answering as literally as she can. Just because you don't like the woman doesn't mean you get to call her a witch.
she
What?
turns.
No, I like Monica. She's like an actual witch.
She's one of the people who we've been, fighting all along. Who's been giving us all manner of grief and trouble.
Aw.
Yeah, she says and grins at this. Clearly, this is clearly in jest. She looks at the raven again, takes her out on her one remaining hand and looks at her very, very seriously and says, "You need to improve your taste in friends."
The raven doesn't peck you; it just kind of, uses its beak to point at your finger.
It does. She can't point at you because she's holding you on her one remaining hand.
Yes, but the raven is not pecking you, just using its beak to indicate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need better taste than friends.
Aww. And the raven flies over to Starlight.
See, she
Starlight
doesn't
is
like me
standing
anymore. I'm a bad friend.
Starlight is standing on some kind of stupor, just staring at the show. With a what the fuck?
I think the raven lands nearby Starlight. Looks at her in the bird fashion, and then
Pops a little closer.
it looks like it's concentrating very, very hard, and on the table, very slowly, a small white flower thing blooms with a heart-shaped flower.
I thought you were pooping for a moment.
No, I think what we're seeing here, Starlight, is White Sparrow finally coming out of the closet. She's declaring her undying love for you.
If a raven can actually wing palm with a face wing, then she does.
Yeah.
She probably can hide her
Face
entire
wing.
face
I love
in
that
the wing.
idea. Mental image is brilliant.
The wing is long enough and
Yep.
flexible enough to go in front of its head, so it should be able to.
In that case, the raven face wings.
Yeah.
It seems like a reasonable assumption. All right. But you do realize it's going to be bloody difficult to kiss Nightshade in that form, right?
You
What?
can always pick his nose off.
The raven is very busy preening its feathers.
Well, you better hurry before the guys kiss each other.
The raven looks interested.
Finn, I would say Finn just sits on the couch with a bottle of something and well, that escalated quickly.
Clearly, Diamond is having a very good time right now, just teasing everyone.
Nightshade cuts in. Okay. Anyways, one of our problems is solved because Starlight's back now. So.
Yes.
Is that a solved problem?
I much as I would like to get a new arm back, I still function reasonably well. So maybe we should, prioritize this, find Monica first, and then we can look for Riley afterwards. How does that sound, guys?
Why do we need Monica?
Sounds great. She could potentially turn Sparrow back to normal.
Are there no other ways of doing that?
I mean, that's the easiest way I know of.
We could, go out and look, and she does a. Daniel, can you answer a question for me quickly here?
Most certainly.
Does Disney exist in this continuum?
Sure. All
right.
She
then she just
might deny
operated
ourselves
by
a couple of villains.
Then she
I was about to say.
She looks at and says, well, there is another way, but it involves basically it involves phenomenal cosmic powers.
What?
And itty bitty living conditions.
He's talking about a genie.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm gonna consider the presence of genies in this continuity.
So
Basically, Daniel, I've kind of decided that she's having computer glitches because of her missing arm.
Oh no.
So she was enormously emotional last time, and bared her soul to somebody who turns out to be a nasty piece of work, but we don't know that yet.
Yes.
what?
We'll get back to that afterwards, I'm sure. She's right now she's having a silly flip.
Of course. Because now the entire gang is back together after a very rough experience and so on.
Yes.
So what do you? So Starlight's question is still dangling in the air, right?
Oh.
What do you do? What do you say?
It's too bad that I personally really like ravens because they're fucking cute.
Yep, they
But
are.
I'm pretty sure Starlight finds any thought of a raven extremely disgusting.
Or at the very least, scary and unpleasant.
So let's seriously, guys. This is just my suggestion, but anybody who disagrees with me, kindly speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Well,
We should start out by finding Monica and getting,
Who?
getting Sparrow back.
And if that falls, go
huge
ahead.
as cosmic powers is the only thing other than apparently Monica can fix it.
Yep.
Who's to say that Monica is strong enough to do it?
Because she's part of the coven, and consequently, she can lift the curse.
Coven?
Yep, coven.
I
What the
mean,
fuck is that?
Congregation.
the witch coven.
It's it's like you have a murder of crows or a parliament of baboons or that sort of thing. You have a coven of witches.
So they're from the same group.
Yep.
Yes.
So going to her would be a good idea, of course. I see so clearly now.
It
Going
would.
directly to the person who
No,
is
she's
a
not
part
the
of the
one-
ones.
She's not the one who did it, and she actually likes Sparrow. That's
Aww.
Then
she's made it pretty
why
clear
is
that
she
she
in a
likes him.
group who changed her?
Well, she wasn't there when it happened. As far as was she out of character? I can't remember.
No.
She was not. She had left through a portal, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. She had left through a portal. She wasn't there to witness it, and
Aw.
and
So,
I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't seem to me like she's the one in charge, if nothing else, because there was some. I mean, you guys probably know this better than me, but didn't that woman that we ended up struggling with, who blew my arm off, didn't she kind of feel like an end of level monster?
who?
No, we fought Morgan before.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
And
so
Monica
I couldn't
is
work
in the
for her.
same group as her.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but that, like, as far as I remember, this last fight costed us like a kind of like a semi-city block, and one of us became a paraplegic. Didn't it?
I mean,
Well,
if Monica doesn't
none of-
work out, we could always search for other arcane means, but
None of us
So,
got paraplegic this time. We just lost an arm, she says, and again waves her shoulder around.
And no buildings were severely destroyed.
Nope. We
Yep.
just need to find Monica, and when we found Monica and she has lifted this curse because she's gonna be nice about it, she is. We're gonna have to go out and find Riley Newman, because I refuse to run around and be the one-armed woman. Next thing they're gonna redo the fugitive, and I'm gonna be the villain.
Meh.
so let's go see if we can find Monica.
You realize you're all kinda insane, right?
I'm a
Oh.
robot. I'm allowed to be. It kind of comes with the. It kind of comes with the what's it called? Job description. Superheroes needed. Slightly bonkers preferred.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am a completely sane person.
I'm fully functional.
Yeah, the
Shut up,
Raven.
Sparrow.
The Raven said it better than everybody else could.
So you're all willing to go back to the Lions then? Even though she weren't there, she could turn out with, "Oh, you were turned by Morgan, so let me kill you all." And call everyone else in the coven because you're stupid to walk back here. Or are we really gonna leave ourselves on that she's gonna like us?
I mean, if things turn south, it is 1 verse 4. She's gonna have a hard time taking us.
She
It-
is.
Even if she's home and everyone else in her home is also witches?
Oh, I don't plan on going to her home. We need to
Nope.
catch her out in the open.
Yep, so do I. And it should be said, by the way, Starlight, to be perfectly honest with you, she'd be a complete moron going up against you personally. The rest of us are just gravy.
Right.
You are by far the strongest of us.
Mhm.
Because
By
I by
a-
accident shot myself into the future where I couldn't help any of you.
That
Wait, what?
is incidentally incredibly powerful. So yeah,
It was an accident. And
Okay,
that's an
you
entirely
shot
different-
yourself into the future. You didn't see Captain Kirk, did you?
I'm not a nerd, Diamond. For God.
Diamond has been pre-programmed with geek knowledge.
It might.
He lives abroad, no, but I met myself who sent me home.
So
All
basically, you gave yourself a curfew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go home.
You're going to be really mommish, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
But I am apparently stupid enough to wear a cape.
Oh, come on. That can't
Yeah,
have
I
been
told
you.
myself that, and she didn't believe me.
The camera pans slowly towards
To
Nightshade.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, like, he takes his cloak in his fingers and holds it up. And it's like, what's wrong with capes?
Well, you don't fly, so there's not really a big issue of you getting caught in a wind turbine from a plane, for example.
Oh, okay.
How
Note
about
to
in the
self, stay away
revolving
from
door?
planes?
Well, that will look very funny.
Raven refrains from commenting.
Yeah, you wear a cape too.
Yes, kind of wear two actually.
On the other side, you can change your shape on command, so you don't really get that, oh my fucking god, I can't get out! It's more like okay, I'm just gonna change because fuck this.
Yep.
Well, not right now, you're a raven, but yeah.
Oh,
So what's the plan?
fine.
You go find Monica.
Alright.
Yep.
So
After that, you still want to find Monica.
So
Right.
let's take our Blades in the Dark glasses on here for a second. So
Oh.
let's cut to this proverbial
not.
score. So
Please don't.
when we see where you initiate your plan, where are we and when is it?
I flipped the tape. This is not Blades in the Dark. I go home.
I would suggest that we go to some place we know she likes. As far as I remember, she was not going to go back to school. So how about we go to that nightclub where she was hanging out?
You're thinking of Sparrow. Sparrow was the one who didn't go.
Oh, that's true. Well, in that case, go back to school.
We could,
I can't
tailor after
obviously
class.
go back to school because, the janitor comes in with one arm today and hopefully in a month comes in with two. Bad
you can-
move.
Hey, you can at least call in sick.
Yeah, well, she does.
Hi, boss. I've lost my arm. I can't come in today.
Yeah.
I have to find a new one. Bye.
Actually, it's more like, boss, I can't come in today because, the North Pole is melting. It's like those old radio jokes here from
Yeah, they
Denmark.
were fun.
They were brilliant.
I don't get it.
This isn't like an old. It doesn't matter. It's a Danish joke. So cool. So yeah. When are we? Where are we?
I think we probably tailor after school. Yeah, would be the easiest.
Either better than lunch break.
Yeah, but lunch
Basically,
break.
it would probably be smarter to be on a nearby building watching the school because she has a tendency to sneak off.
Yeah.
And question: do we go all of us? Because we have to remember that this is still a matter of, to a degree, of protecting at least your secret identities. Once cat is out of the bag, it's out of the bag. And do you...
Sparrow volunteers to be perched in a tree outside.
I will definitely meet her.
Twilight can too.
I
She's
don't have
prodding
a
the
problem.
raven.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with her finding out. I'm not in costume to begin with, remember?
Yeah, I would be in costume if we encountered her.
So I think we cut directly from this time, and we flip the page. The following panel is like an electronic alarm clock going off, and then like a hand coming down on it. We see a pajama wearing Monica get out of bed, stretch, yawn, get out and do her hair. She's got bed head. Stands in front of a vanity, fixes her look, looking sleepy as fuck. Goes downstairs, in a lonely, like pretty nice seeming house, completely empty, half asleep. Opens the refrigerator, gets out a bottle of like a carton of OJ. Eyes closed, fumbles for a glass, pours it, like goes through her morning routine.
Could love that. You know, she opens her fridge and looks in at White Sparrow sitting in there in raven form.
Opens her fridge, your entire crew spills out.
No, I just imagine the lone sparrow sitting there. Caw!
Like it has some kind of like there would be like some kind of like soundtrack, like the lyrics to some kind of song like written in like underlining this like sequence of panels as she like just makes ready to go to school. She gets in her clothes and like we see her like get dressed, and she takes a folder out of her backpack and looks at it. We can't see what's in there, but we can like kind of we get a half peek of like the top half of it, and we see it's like some kind of like blueprint or some kind of schematic, with like a post-it note attached to it. She folds it and pops it in her backpack and puts it on. Stops, looks at herself in the mirror, and then heaves a breath of air, and then walks out. And next clip, she's like leaving school. Like maybe a panel or two of her like looking bored in school, acing a test that she stole the results for with White Sparrow.
I'm innocent.
And then like looking over and like looking at a bunch of empty seats where none of you have shown up, and being like, whatever. Walking out of school, we have like a top-down shot of like students pouring out of the building, and then she's just like walking downtown. And where do we like in which shot do we see you lots like appear in? And
probably
where are you at?
Yeah, probably like dropping from like a rooftop when she's going down like a shortcut through alleys or something.
Sounds like a good plan. She seems like the type who wouldn't be afraid to go down the dark alley if it's safe.
Right, exactly.
All right. So what would be it? Yeah, I know what this is. So this is like she's like walking she walks like down into what's like clearly like a downtown space, a bunch of walk-ups, alleyways and stuff happening. And then she crosses over like she crosses under a rail track. You know, like one of the. It's not like she doesn't go underground. It's like suspended above, like on like plinths, and so it's just like this like space that's like half like it's just unused concrete space that has like drain water ditches in case of storms and so on. Where she's like crossing under the rail tracks and like moving to go somewhere downtown. And in that space you have like the perfect moment to like interrupt her.
Yeah, I think it like from one of the like drains or whatever, my smoke form just kind of wafts out and then coalesces in front of her. I'm like, hello, Monica.
All right. And you're the one like taking the lead here. There is no like the others don't drop in or anything. You're staying hidden.
Right. I think we decided that last time.
All right. Incidentally, I totally know what the song is that would be like the lyrics that would be printed under all this is "In My Mind" by Amanda Palmer. So yeah, but you drop down and you see like the little lyrics like fade into nothing in the bottom. And she's of course like stops and starts as suddenly appear before her. She probably drops what she was reading. She was like walking with a book in her hand. She drops it. It is something like, I don't know, like sociology reading or something. Yes, obviously. No, it's Kafka.
Oh Christ! It doesn't get much heavier than that.
So she drops and she looks up at you and she's kind of like assumed like a I think she when you appear she immediately just like falls into something that you can't like kind of mistake it for Thai boxing stance, but also like kind of on the back foot, clearly like nervous about what's going on. It's like, who are you? What's up? What do you want, weirdo?
So, it's come to my attention that you may be of help to a certain team member of mine.
Who the fuck are you?
I can like get the like depressed expression in a panel, like shade.
Who
like,
are you?
Everyone at the school knows who I am, but apparently Monica. I'm like, I'm Nightshade from the Defenders.
Didn't you used to dress cool?
Badoomch.
Yeah, no, he just sighs. Anyways,
She picks up her book. Like,
comes to my attention you might be able to help out a friend.
cool. What? Go on. Like, don't leave that hanging.
One of your coven members turned a friend of mine into a raven. I'd like you to change your back, please.
The panel immediately changes tone, right? There is there is the, yeah, okay, fine. What can I do for you? Like, what bullshit do you need me to do? And then it's like, you're a witch, and I know it. And we get like the shot of her like looking at you, and like the darkness has set under her bangs. She looks out on you. It's none of your business.
I think it is. I'm asking nicely. I don't want to do this the hard way. I have a feeling that you don't quite agree with your coven.
You don't know anything about me or my coven. So don't stop pretending like you do.
I know I fought and defeated Morgan twice.
She looks at you like disbelieving, and then she like, in a moment, like you can see like the like kind of like the befuddlement, and then her face like cracks and she's like, of course you did. I'm sorry, I have no clue who you're talking about. I have to go. I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you, creepy weirdo.
I think, like, as she turns to go, I, like, reform and smoke in front of her again. Just, like, slyly moving around as she, like, turns away. I'm like, no.
Get out of my way. Fuck off. And she turns to walk another way.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Stop it. Stop it.
Starlight at a distance with the raven. That doesn't look like it's working.
All right.
Yeah, what, like, she doesn't, like, she's clearly, like wanting to get out of here. What do you do? Like, you can definitely, like, still, like, try and, like, persuade her. But
right.
You're gonna, like, have to, like, kick it up somehow. Like, you're gonna have to get in her head or something.
Call in the ravens.
Because right now, she seems to just be like, I'm gonna leave, and you can feel, like, though you can get in front of her, you can feel the tension mounting, right? Like, right now, she's a spring, and you're pushing further and further down.
Mm-hmm.
So, can the rest of us actually see her from where we are?
I would assume so. I accord you with, like, enough initiative here to like, be in a position where you can observe.
Okay.
Hence my comment of, I don't think that's working.
Right.
And
I
comment
want to do something drastic, but it may backfire.
I think at this point, speaking of drastic, at this point, Diamond is basically hopping off the roof where they're standing.
Yo, give him a chance first.
I think
She's not, I mean, there's a way over there.
Oh,
She's
okay.
just she's just
Getting ready.
yeah, she's moving towards.
Being ready in case of a fight.
You enter the space of the
No,
conversation.
actually, she doesn't want to fight. She wants to go over there and tell the girl the what fors and why ifs.
Yes.
So I think she turns to go again. I'm like, okay, wait, Monica. And I think I slowly take my mask off.
So you're about to reach for your mask, right? Like you raise your hand to it. And then in the background, Diamond falls down from her perch and lands.
I don't think she was quite there yet.
Oh, it was my
jumping
my
down
understanding.
from a building, a little further away, and then was going to get closer.
Yeah, is that not the intention?
Yeah, that's the intention, is that she will make her way over there. But I'm assuming that it's not literally on top of them.
No, okay. Like it's just whether or not you will become a presence that she's aware of as you do this, or if you if you pop your head around a corner and be like, "Hello, I'm also here."
No, she jumps off the roof and starts heading in that way, but she's not hiding, and she's not running and raising her fists in order to be threatening or anything of the sort. She's just walking over there.
Yeah, I think so. This happens you're in the far background, right? But the idea is that you enter the space of the conversation.
Yeah,
as you're on your approach, and this kind of creates a moment of interruption for what you're doing, Nightshade, because she turns and notices, and this seems like you can see her flipping, right? Like this, she does not. She sees herself right now as being cornered, I think.
I think if it looks like
you-
she's walking away or taking a step backwards, I think Diamond is just going to raise her one remaining hand, in a non-hostile gesture, just letting her see I'm not here to make trouble.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that kind of diffuses it a bit. I should also stop giving you insights into people's minds unsolicited. But
No,
yeah, so
I mean, if she's
fine.
reacting like that, it makes sense that she would sort of be stepping away or something.
Yeah. So she stops and looks between the two of you, and you can see she's holding this book in her hand, right? Like she's holding the trial in her hand or whatever. And though though you're only briefly peripherally aware of it, her hand is in this hovering open palm gesture. She's not moving it, she's not doing anything with it, but it looks like she's ready for something. And yeah,
Gotcha.
this is the moment, right? What do you do? What do you say?
Monica, we're friends. I slowly peel my mask back.
Yeah, that works. Roll to provoke.
Provoke was
Superior.
superior.
I mean, I feel like that's what you're trying to do here, right? You're trying to
Yes.
just calm me
Right.
down and listen to you.
Right.
Do you have influence over her?
Don't need it.
No need.
Clearly not.
Really don't need it.
Well, that's probably her crush on you working in your favor.
True.
Yeah, so she stops and starts as she looks at you, and we get the A and B shot right of your faces looking at each other, and her mouth falling open, and then she shakes her head for a moment. She's like, "That's not funny."
What's not funny?
What do you want?
I already told you what I want.
Yeah, fine. Your friend, something, hex curse. Look, if you messed with my coven, I'm sorry to say your friend got what they deserved.
We didn't mess with your coven. Your coven came after us.
That's...
As I say that,
I find that
slowly kind
unlikely.
of I'm slowly moving towards her as I'm talking, in a non-threatening way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you approach her, and she doesn't seem to think much of it until you're just about within arm's reach, and then she says okay, that's far enough. Look, Flyboy.
Nightshade.
Whatever. Aaron. What? Why are you even... What even possessed you to fuck with my sisters? I don't understand. She like gestures to all of you, right? She's like, I don't understand this. But in one breath you're telling me that you fucked with my sisters, and in the next breath you're telling me to do something about it. And
am I within earshot by now, or,
totally,
or
totally.
speaking distance?
Totally.
Okay. Nightshade, may I? I'm not here to make trouble. I promise you.
Sure. Go ahead, Diamond.
You're the fucking janitor.
Yeah, I'm also short an arm, if you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess.
No, you don't apologize or don't say you're sorry. It's nothing to do with you personally, but Morrigan blew that arm off me. Just moments before we blew her to hell or wherever. Now, the point is,
so
we have
conversation stops.
Yeah. The point is, we have no beef with you.
Conversation stops at blew her to hell. Because you can see Monica's face, like, crack. Like, it's a second of pure shock. And then the immediate combined, like, tears welling and brows lowering of someone entering frantic rage on the spot.
Monica, your friend needs your help.
She's gonna...
You can hurt me afterwards if you want. I'll let you disassemble me afterwards. But your friend needs your help.
So
I'm trying to provoke her.
That's fine. So I see what you're going for. I don't think it ever reaches that point, because at the second that you've painted the picture in her head that you've killed Morrigan is the second she's going to murder you. So there's the moment of shock horror, and then tears, anger, and then she like starts spouting hexes at you, deaf to your words.
She doesn't defend herself. Diamond doesn't defend herself.
Does someone else defend Diamond, is the question.
If they do, she will push them out of the way. She doesn't want to be defended.
I think I grab Monica's hand. I'm like, please don't.
No. Seriously, Nightshade, let her. Seriously, let her.
So
this is about Sparrow, not about me.
So let's take this one at a time. So you want to prevent her from hexing Diamond in this moment, which is reasonable.
Right.
Roll Savior to intercede and put this situation at a moment of calm. All right, that's actually a success. Let's have a look here. You have just defended someone on a 9. It costs you. So you do this, but you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
I think I expose myself to danger.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's like, you say like, we blew her to hell. She starts like half crying and half screaming at you, at a 3-second transition. And as like suddenly like black magic starts bubbling on her skin, Nightshade, you grab her, and as like kind of just like a total like reflex, right? She's a wound up spring. She like just flips on her axis and like extends her palms to you, and what was meant for Diamond becomes this like black roiling bubbling beast of tar like black magic like erupts onto you and starts like chomping on you with like teeth that form from nothing, and just like rolls into you like a worm shooting out of her hands, like driving you back and like up, like probably like into a skip that's placed like by a nearby wall, and as this like thing that she's like erupting, that she's like shooting forth, is like trying to eat you and just like bite you to shreds. What do you do?
I think I'm going to try and escape as soon as it starts like pushing me up towards the skiff or whatever and biting me.
Cool.
I think at that point,
how do you do that?
While he does that, Diamond tells her, "Do that to me, not to him. He's innocent."
I'm gonna like puff into smoke and try and just dissipate around it.
Cool. You can definitely try that. Roll to unleash your powers.
Oh god, this ought to be good. Oh, thank God. Double sixes.
Cool. So you that's the thing like barrels into you and like starts chomping. It bites down on smoke, or in like on like some kind of like poisonous vapor, and like just it like just continues forth and like old 8-bit style games like eats its way into the wall, and just like chews up a metal skip, just like leaves it behind a shattered mess. And yeah, so the situation right now is exceedingly like not calm. She's like this has escalated beyond words that aren't like loud shouting because she's not listening. What do we do here? I sense that you're still wanting to like calm her down and explain what's going on. But you have the clear understanding that will necessitate you have like either restraining her or convincing her that you haven't killed her sister.
We're under the impression that we did not kill her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we turned her magic on herself, so it teleported her to who the fuck knows where.
Right. I think as like I detangle myself from like the magic, I just yell like, "We didn't kill her. We don't do that."
And I think my impression from Diamond was that Diamond was also trying to calm her down, right, and be like, chill.
No, she's not so much trying to calm her down as telling her, take it out on me. Because as far as Diamond is concerned, it was her blow that sent her through that portal.
All right.
And she's basically saying, take it out on me, don't take it out on the rest of them. They're innocent. And at some point she does, because, Aaron just dropped his mask. So at one point she is going, she said, it's our friend. So at one point she is going to name drop Sparrow and say it's her. For goodness sakes, you're her friend. Help her, and then take me apart afterwards. I don't care.
All right, I think despite the fact that like that on its own would probably not be enough, like just with where she is right now, right, like a blood of blood in her head. But I think that you saying that definitely like counts as help for what Nightshade is doing, right? Like Nightshade is the one slamming the pause button, and you're saying stuff that she only registers peripherally, but would totally prompt a response if it can just worm its way into her head that you're saying words.
Yeah.
So let's have you roll to. I mean, yeah, I think you're provoking again, Nightshade.
So is this like subtract the team for the pool and add to that roll, or how?
Yeah, like if it's necessary, right? Fictionally, this will help. Even if this fails, it will still have been like fictionally helpful. But we will spend the team if it's necessary.
Okay.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
I want to spend the team to make it a full hit.
Totally. All right. Cool. So it works. You chill her out. In like a second, and I feel like I know like what it is, right? She does this like thing that would have killed you if you were not a superhero, probably, or at least like severely maimed you. And she doesn't not like you, right? So there's like that second of like, oh fuck, I just did that, right? She was gonna jump up the janitor, and then she like shot black magic on you. And that's a moment of hesitation. You shout at her, you can't no one is dead, chill out. And then like words start registering to her again. And she calms down, and we can see like the crackle of like bubbling black ooze like recede into her pores. As she like she stops and like just looks at you. And she's like, there's already like the little few streaks of mascara running, right? Like there's like the tears, the two big tears that have been pinched off in each corner of her eye, have like dragged a smear on her face.
I think I like go up to her and just like gently like grab her by both her shoulders. That way she's looking at me directly. I'm like, Morgan is not dead. We simply turned her magic on her. We wouldn't kill anybody.
No.
She struggles like in your grip and like kind of pushes your hands away and like crosses her arms instead and like takes a step away from you. Fucking explain yourself before I do something. I didn't. You.
It's
fucking
okay.
explain yourself now.
By this time, it would like make his way there, just not turning into his like form with just hands in pockets, slowly making his way there.
White Sparrow, one of the members of our team, she's a raven. She can't transform back into her human self. I just need you to undo the hex.
But how did that happen? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't either. Your coven came after her.
But that doesn't make sense. Why would they transform Illy? I
Yeah,
sorry.
name dropped her.
Yeah, did you call her Sparrow or Illy?
No, I name dropped her. So yeah.
Also, her nickname is Nelly.
Nelly, that's
Nelly.
right. Yeah, what? You're speaking fucking nonsense.
We don't necessarily know why it was done. That doesn't change the fact that it was done. She is right now stuck in a
As a
bird
bird.
form. Yeah. And to the best of our understanding, the only people who can undo it would be someone from the coven. And that's why we're here asking you for help, because Ileana is your friend. Has been nothing but your friend, and as far as I understand it, she likes you. She thinks you're cool, she thinks you're fun.
So she's like, you can see your words like starting to find purchase, but then you can also tell that she's distressed, and I think she like kind of like shakes your words off, and like just like bites at you and says, "Don't patronize me."
I'm not. I'm serious.
Fucking prove it then.
I would love to, but she is, in fact, in bird form. If you can get her back, she will tell you the same thing herself.
What proof do you need?
I assume you have proof of any sort that she was turned and hexed into a fucking raven.
I
As a raven.
Yeah, I start scanning around looking for Sparrow.
Well,
Starlight is probably walking toward them with a raven on her shoulder.
There she is.
So at this point, like I feel like you're not cornering her, but I know you're aware of her. Like we need her to not run.
Yeah.
And she's not running, but she is like kind of like doing the stepping back thing, having not realized that all her table mates are like a group of superheroes.
I think the Raven will take off from Starlight's shoulder and land in front of her. Go!
There she is.
She looks at you, and you look back, and there is a tense moment, and in the animated version, we would have like strings tremoring direly as we have the moment of her like thinking on what's happening. And it is at this moment that we will go to a pause.
No.
And then we will be back.